The year is 2077. Science and technology have pushed the boundaries of society and what it means to be human. Neon reflects off of polished concrete. Carbon fiber, lukewarm, chafes flesh. If you can afford it, metal and molded plastic can weaponize and augment your biology. But just how dangerous would bladed arms be? It's time to jack in.
Now entering the facility.
Ever since reading William Gibson's foundational Neuromancer, I've been obsessed with cyberpunk. I love the aesthetic, I love the transhumanism of it, I love the techno-ethical challenges that come along with ideas of human augmentation. So obviously I'm very excited to get my hands on Cyberpunk 2077 after waiting 77 years to play it. But that's okay, because today we're actually gonna get our hands on it. I've tasked my Razor Girl Thea to build a pair of Mantis blades from the game in a more or less screen accurate way, and we're gonna use this to actually test its deadly form and function.
Didn't Thea cut a guy in half once?
Yeah, she's great. Now, building this from scratch is gonna take Thea a little while, so let's get some cyber science in first. Cyberpunk's Mantis blades are clearly modeled after something in nature, and when humans look to nature for engineering and design solutions, it's called biomimetics, or biomimicry. Humans are very good at coming up with solutions to very complicated problems. Just think of how hard it would be to watch this video from scratch. But it turns out evolution, with its billions of years of natural trial and error, routinely outclasses anything that humans can come up with. Case in point, this is the Eastgate building. It's an office complex in Harare, Zimbabwe. Now, even in the sweltering midday African sun, this office complex uses no air conditioning, and it only uses 10% of the energy that other buildings of a similar size would use. How is that possible? Well, the architect, Mick Pierce, actually looked to termite mounds for his inspiration for the design of this building. He was fascinated by how termite mounds could retain a basically stable temperature during huge temperature swings night and day in the desert. He took three-dimensional scans of the termite mounds' interiors, and then he applied it to the interiors of his building, and now it runs on completely natural ventilation. Amazing. Or, as another example, take the ubiquitous and staple of any cyberpunk outfit material, Velcro. This was inspired by a plant, the burr plant. You know, that thing that sticks to your hiking socks after you're done walking your dog. Now, there are many more biomimicry examples, from antimicrobial surfaces that were inspired by shark skin, to bullet trains shaped after bird beaks, to my glorious mane modeled after 1 trillion sexy lions. And it seems like the Mantis blades fit right in here with this kind of design. But which kind of Mantis are we actually talking about? Look, I know what you're probably thinking right now. But Kyle, what do you mean, which Mantis? It's obviously the Mantis that's the praying kind. You know, the praying Mantis, Kyle, dang. Hey, first of all, guy with the voice, that's what I thought at first too, but then you look at how the blades in the game actually function. There's a lot more slicing and piercing, and this is just not what praying mantids use their little praying arms for. They use them to grab and hold prey while they eat their face while they're still alive. Thankfully for CP-2077 canon though, there is a Mantis which fits the bill a lot better, biomimetically speaking. The only insectoid that is arguably more badass than the praying mantis is the mantis shrimp, a carnivorous marine crustacean. Since you're probably an animal nerd like me if you're watching this video, you likely know that these little murder prawns are awesome. They have the most complex vision in the animal kingdom and can punch with calcified claws accelerated at 10,000 G to crack crabs in aquarium glass and create cavitation bubbles that create their own heat and light and pressure, and they're awesome. These heavyweights aren't even a kilogram, but did you know that there is another species of mantis shrimp that evolved spears instead of clubs? Yeah, watch this. Yeah. To my possibly augmented eyes, if the cyberpunk blades are to be biomimetic of anything, they are meant to replicate the piercing and tearing power of the Squillamantis mantis shrimp's blades, the only mantis shrimp that people usually eat. Anyway, speaking of piercing power, Mantis blades aren't just about the
Blade
blades.
construction at 75%.
Ah, fantastic. Order the ballistics
The
gel.
kind with the brains inside?
The kind, yes, put the brains in it. Oh, this is gonna be gross and good. Good old natural muscle has gotten humans a long way. Who do you think built the pyramids? Some dumb aliens on a History Channel show trying just to make $1 with decreasing viewership in an age where most people are cutting their cable cords? No, good old actin myosin chains, baby. But if we were in a dystopia where most of the guys who needed a good stabby were made out of half metal, we might need more piercing power than anything that a natural muscle fiber can provide. Enter the emerging technology then of artificial muscle. Artificial muscles are systems and materials that can act like natural muscle. They can expand, contract, twist, and handle repeated loading and unloading, and they activate in response to, say, electricity or heat. Now, as of the latest research in 2014, scientists have used carbon nanotube yarn to create muscles that can pull and push with 100 times more force than anything you can find in your arms or legs. But you don't need futuristic fibers to make artificial muscle. You can actually make it at home. Follow me for a little demonstration.
Blade construction complete.
Well, forget that. It's time to slice and dice stuff. I mean, we'll get back to it. Maybe. I don't care.
I can definitely cut that guy in half.
Oh, hey, Thea.
Kyle.
Oh, looks like you got a present for me. Is it done?
Hi.
I hear. Oh, can you just.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
For the big reveal.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I
just want to make sure you're prepared.
Wow! Oh man! This looks straight up deadly.
This is definitely deadly.
Wow, how'd you make this?
So it was a very complicated process to make this because I wanted it to look amazing.
Sure.
And to function. Gotta cut some people in half, you know what I'm saying?
They do.
It slides onto your arm like this.
Sick.
And then have some straps that go to hold it in place. Some little detailing so it matches up, of course, with the game.
I love that.
But it needs to be light enough. So I had to do most of the fabrication out of aluminum to make it lighter because aluminum is about half the weight of steel. So everything from here down is aluminium and this blade is steel because I need it to be sharp.
Sure.
So we can mess some things up. For this to articulate forward and properly have some good stabbing action like in the game, these two joints need to bend in relationship to each other.
Sure.
So they needed a double linkage because with a single linkage, everything was just bouncing all over the place, so.
And speaking of slicing and stabby, I brought you something too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited. Oh my goodness.
So that's a full ballistics gel head with resin bones inside of it. So this is to approximate the cutability and stabbability of human flesh with ballistics gel. And then the resin skull is going to simulate some of the properties of bone. Not all the properties of bone, of course, but it should give us a pretty good idea. And there also might be stuff inside of the skull. I'm not 100% certain because I haven't stabbed it yet. This is what we're going to be using today to test the slicey stabbiness of our Mantis blades, which do have different and screen accurate blades that we can put onto this prop. Also, because you know I hate fruit because an orange killed my parents, we will also be slicing and stabbing some fruit today. Now, I know we do not have 2077 fabrication and materials at our disposal, but given how beautiful this is, how actually sharp this blade is, I'm not even going to touch it, and our test materials, I think this will give us a pretty good idea of what it can do. So are you ready to test?
I'm ready, let's do this.
Let's suit up. That was insane. I honestly did not expect that at all. That is a perfect and perfectly clean cut right down the center. Wow.
Really amazing.
This Mantis blade is performing, I didn't expect to say this, but almost exactly like you'd see it perform in the game. However, to really test a fully molded ballistics gel arm with resin bones to approximate everything we want, stop laughing at it. If the blade can make it through the hard skin of a watermelon, if you can cut into this appreciably, I think this weapon is totally feasible, but I would never test this on a human, which is why the ballistics gel. Don't look at me like that. 3, 2, 1. Is everyone okay? So easily cutting all the way through the flesh, and if you look closely through the flesh, it even cut a good portion into the bone. So we're not making it through the bone, but I do have one more implement left to slice him. Can I make it into some corpo's brain? That makes sense if you play the game.
Blood in my hand. Awesome sciencey blood.
That was pretty cool. Well, Thea, like I said, we don't have the Cyberpunk 2077, all the materials and nanomachines and Keanu Reeves being breathtaking, but I think we can say from how easy it was to cut into flesh, it didn't really make it through the bone very well. It did a little bit in a piercing action, but you might suspect that a cyberpunk style augmented person would have something like, artificial muscles, something like that. So all in all, I think we have to say that this is a plausible design. It's not perfect in terms of like a sword swinging weapon, but it looks cool, it functions.
And this was designed to the exact dimensions and specifications that is in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, so this is screen accurate, and it does the slicing. I think we did it.
Look, if our foe was a watermelon,
no problem. Anything more than that, I think you have to rely on some cyberpunk style augmentations, but this as an overall design, I think it totally works, and it's totally awesome.
nailed it.
Hey, what? Look how much damage there was on that watermelon over there.
Where did Kyle go?
He left with the blade to make his Cyberpunk playthrough more accurate.
What a dork. Until next time.
Now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff at the facility for their direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video. If you want to get on the staff and get episodes early, if you want to give me episode suggestions, if you want to join our Commander League, if you want to see behind the scenes stuff, live streams with me, you can go to patreon.com/Kyle Hill and get on the staff today. And today especially I want to recognize Research Assistant Daniel Penagos and Visiting Scholar Zach Shipp. And if you support the facility just enough, you get your name honorarily on Aria each and every week. And as you can see, there's literally hundreds of you, so I have no idea how to pass that. You should go to Thea's channel right now and check out the other half of the collaboration to see how she built the Mantis blades from scratch. And you can make artificial muscle fibers at home by coiling fishing line. But I'm tired. I had to stab a head. Thanks for watching, Cyberpunk Voice.